is not a normal podcast. Look around. We're on an island in the James River in downtown Richmond. Sharps Island, it's called. People camp here, fish here, party here. For over 200 years, Richmonders have built structures on this island. Inevitably, those structures were washed away, but the Richmonders, like myself, keep coming back, keep building, trying to gain a foothold. Why? For us, the water that surrounds Sharps Island isn't a barrier, it's a threshold, a doorway to a magical place. This acre of rock and sand surrounded by the city, it's somehow completely secluded. On this podcast, our guests have to get in the boat and leave the world behind. I hope you'll come with them. Luckily, this water level, it's hard to mess this up.
Oh, we're not gonna hit anything here?
No, I mean, I didn't see, I mean, you can see.
Are you switching sides because you're trying to steer, or what are you doing?
No, I'm switching sides just because to, I don't know, habit, I guess. You know, so
I'm about to yell at you on your own kingdom.
Yeah, that would be perfect. When I talk about content, just forcing you to switch, you know?
I don't have to switch. You're supposed to not look, and I just sit back here and steer, and you do all the
I know,
work.
that is, man, you really are. You know what you're doing. You got to come on one of my canoe trips on the James. That's,
Well, you want to go to the left of...
Yeah, right to the left of Claire.
And got full speed it up there?
Yeah, let's do it. Boom. All right, here, I'll pull us,
Here, I'll try to get my weight back here to...
or you could do the,
There you go, beautiful.
walk up the, walk up the boat and you'll stay dry.
I can't believe how cool this is.
How crazy is this weather?
It's a tropical system. Hey, what's your name? Hey, Claire, Andrew.
What's happening, man?
It's a nice tropical storm, or a hurricane.
So even here, how many miles are we from the eye wall?
Oh, we gotta be 300.
Right. So
miles
this
or
is
something.
still Aaron related.
Yeah, the clouds and northerly breeze.
Right.
Yeah, humidity will drop. Long sleeves in August.
Right. I
James
mean,
River.
I debated that, and then it's still humid
Yeah.
enough that if you do something like paddling.
So what do we do? Are we
You get hot.
ignoring the camera, or what's?
Yeah, you can do whatever. You're Andrew Freiden.
Yeah, I love the
Did you know
camera.
that?
Get
Yeah.
out of the way. So listen.
Hey, we could have a bald off. We could do whatever you want.
I saw
you know what I mean?
I watched and you had the hat on. I was like, you know what? I'm not ashamed of.
Were you gonna wear a
the
Tuckahoe
dome.
hat? Oh, the dome. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I usually
And it's
I'm
cloudy too. So.
usually I'm wearing a hat because it's been like when we had the mayor out here, it was 96.
This is really cool. So this is up at the highest point you can get it.
So this is the highest point you can get it. When the river got to, you might remember, but like in January it was like 17.4. It was like 6 inches in.
But this is all dry. It can
But
dry
this,
out.
yeah,
There's
I mean it's all
insulation and
exactly. So we like piled everything in here. We
how
lost
cool is that?
a couple. Like there was a chainsaw that was sitting here that didn't work anymore.
You can put like one high shelf up.
Yes.
There's a view up top.
Yeah, the rooftop deck. So we have not yet done a podcast from up there, but we got to do one. I got an umbrella. From a camping standpoint, it is always, like every weekend from April 1st to October 31st
So
is
cool.
full. Is
And
full.
is it mainly people who are coming through, or are they coming out?
It's mostly like Richmond area people, but there are a ton. Like there was, like that's my favorite thing about it is like, there's like this family from Baltimore who like comes here every summer. And they're like Virginia Beach, there's been a bunch.
Yeah.
People are looking for something a little bit different, but not that far.
And you're right next to whatever you want to do.
And
You
you're-
get a 5-star restaurant, then you're here.
Literally, there were people that are like, hey man, I got Uber Eats to the parking lot. I paddled over and brought it back.
Oh crap! Sorry.
Swag, dude. Look at
Oh,
this.
shut up.
Look at this.
What should I do? It like right here? Oh, the box on the inside. Like that.
Look at this bad boy.
Oh yeah, that's
Huh?
That is
Yeah.
ridiculous.
See if it's your size. Isn't that cool?
Extra large, right?
Extra large. I figured.
Oh my gosh.
That's pretty
Look
cool,
at
huh?
that.
I mean, that feels like, kicking around town.
You can't wash this though.
You can wash it.
You don't want it to fade.
I mean, maybe
Look at
don't
the
dry
artwork.
it. Maybe don't dry it.
Is
Wash
this
it.
Ed Trask artwork? Who did this?
That's a Ukrainian I met online, which is how all great stories start. Graphic
Oh,
designer.
Man, let's go.
Graphic
That is
designer.
really cool. I really
I was like,
appreciate it.
those postcards. I mean, everybody's got one of these now. Like
Okay.
every city.
You mean everyone has one of
What,
Oh,
like this
like a
style,
design.
this
Yeah,
this
yeah, yeah.
style.
That's
Like
cool.
Matt Lively just did this in Cape Charles.
I love it.
Or an Ancock. Anyway, those things are sweet.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
you're-
What do we do now?
Chris was W&L undergrad, and my wife and myself.
Are we rolling?
We are rolling now.
So what's exciting, make sure you put this in, is that I work with a W&L grad.
You do?
And you actually, the average time it takes for a person to mention that they went to W&L is 3 minutes, and you got it in at about 2:30.
Okay.
So that's good,
solid.
because the W&L grads love to talk about that they went to W&L.
The reason I do that, besides the fact that I loved it, is coming from Philly, there are 0 people that have ever heard of that place.
Well,
so
I know all
I
about it.
decided to stay in a place where at least some people know what I'm talking about.
Right,
It's,
they don't- yep.
it's not
No,
like
we know.
UVA.
I'm
Andrew.
impressed. No.
It's not like UVA.
I'm not even going to talk about UVA.
Really?
But no, I mean, I would if it comes up, but I don't bring it up like the W&L people bring it up.
We're definitely going to bring up.
You're like, we're better than UVA, but we're just, people don't know about us. Okay, sorry, that's it. Now I'll work.
Or
No
college.
more working blue.
That's as blue as Freiden gets right there.
That's as bad as it gets.
All right, welcome back to Sharps Island. Today's guest can see into the future,
Absolutely.
but only about 3 days.
7 to 10.
So, yeah, sure, that 10. I speak, of course, of NBC12's chief meteorologist.
We actually don't use that title.
Oh, okay.
And we can get into
So,
that.
in other words, Megan Wise is the chief meteorologist.
We don't use that title, and you got to listen. We don't use it because when we decided we wanted to promote a team.
Okay.
So I have a title that we use behind the scenes. It's like executive weather producer. But when we're out front to the public,
Okay.
nobody says Chief Meteorologist Andrew Freiden or Chief Meteorologist Megan Wise, because we want to present to our current and future staff that we are a team of meteorologists. And when the weather's really bad, I'm not going to come shove you off the air and take over.
Right.
We're all going to work together.
All right, so-
it's a different way than I think almost every other TV station in the country. And I'll take some credit or blame for doing that, but
Right.
that was an idea that I had a while back that was like, I don't like when it's like, Chief Meteorologist Andrew Freiden is here. And it's like, it's sort of,
Like, he knows the weather better
Right.
than so-and-so.
right, we're all here working together, learning from each other and doing the best we can for the viewers.
So, not chief meteorologist, but how about this? Prophet of prevailing westerlies, Swami of stickiness,
Okay. Oh, yeah. Like that.
Oracle of the ozone layer.
Very
Little
good.
stretch. Andrew Freiden, welcome.
Hey, it's nice to be here. I mean, I've been here on Sharps Island before, but it's
Right.
nice. It's nice what you've done with the place.
It is. It's a lot of fun. I appreciate you bringing the clouds. We've done a few hot ones this summer, and this is kind of nice.
And in the background, you not only hear what sounds like static, but it's the rushing water of the
That's right.
Thames.
If you're
People
just
may hear a little
listening-
breeze today.
Right,
Yeah,
a little.
everyone's listening.
Like, we get a little breeze coming up now. If you're just listening, yeah, that's not like
Yeah.
poor production quality.
That's when I first listened. I was like, "What is their problem with their mics? They need it's
Right.
it's the rapids." But yeah, we're sitting here as there's a hurricane off the coast right now.
Yeah, that's which I'm glad. We've got a big party this weekend. I'm glad old Aaron didn't come the other way.
Should be gorgeous this weekend.
Really? Yeah, I saw. Now you gave us a best verified weather day tomorrow. I need you to move that to Saturday.
So here's the thing, we have this thing, this is another one of the things I want to take credit for, is that I have this, when Twitter started verifying people who paid a bunch of money, and they're like, and I was
That's
like,
you
this is,
verified best weather day?
that was my idea. So the verified best weather day of the week, we don't actually use it for the weekends, it's like during the week, but Saturday would qualify. Saturday is going to be a beautiful
So it could be
day.
Friday or Saturday.
Either one, low humidity. In August, as you know, late August, I mean, you people that are camping here at Sharps Island are gonna love it.
Yes.
So
I don't get people that camp in the humidity here.
I don't
But
understand
they pack
how.
it in.
I've camped with my family for years, but
Right.
if it's going to be really hot and humid, I will not take them because I don't
agree
want to
more.
spoil them for camping. They're like, this is miserable.
When I don't really want to go somewhere and get a terrible night's sleep because I'm drenched
Yeah.
in sweat.
Why are we doing this?
Let's do it in the fall. All right, we're coming in hot here. You ready? Like, we're starting out. It's go time. How many cloud types can you name in 10 seconds?
Oh my gosh. You want to just start going?
10.
I'll start from the low levels.
9.
You've got fog, mist, drizzle, stratus, stratocumulus, nimbostratus,
I'm going to stop
cumulus.
there.
No, my favorite is cumulus humulus.
That's one cloud?
That's a really cool
All right,
cloud.
Look, none of those is right. The answers were Fluffy and the one that looks like the baby Jesus.
Yeah. Or right. Or an angel.
All right, here we go. Let's keep it hot. If you could delete one weather phenomenon, what would it be?
If I could delete one weather
rid of it.
phenomenon, I think it would be excessive humidity.
Damn it.
think
I
that
was
was
going to say
it.
anything else, and I was going to say wrong again. It's humidity.
See, I'm right.
You're unbelievable.
No, but as someone who spends that time outdoors and as someone who works occasionally outdoors and know people that work outdoors.
Right, got to wear a suit
it
outdoors.
No, I mean like working
Yeah.
with their hands,
Oh,
calluses.
right.
It is brutal to try to keep yourself cool and comfortable and also be productive in the midsummer in Central Virginia, and it's just so hard due to that humidity. Now that helps us in a lot of ways, right? We don't have the wildfire threats that they have out west, where they have lower humidity. Like,
pick your poison.
I was actually looking and thinking, like, this is not a bad place, other than that midsummer humidity. To me is just like, it's
Dude,
not fun.
and every summer that I get older, I think it's like I don't know if I can take this forever. Like, I got to find a way to
Can
go
I get to
out
Maine?
west.
Can I get to?
Yeah.
Well, you go to Maine, or
Our family bought a camper van and did a big trip across country. It was early COVID, and I remember coming into Salt Lake City in the camper van and looking at our phone, my weather 12 app, and even in Salt Lake City it works. It's unbelievable. The humidity was 8%.
Yeah.
I was like, this is the greatest place on earth.
And then you have a nosebleed, but
yes, like literally your
it's just so much easier to exist. Now that said, you've got wildfires in Salt Lake City and droughts and all that stuff.
We couldn't get up through, I think it's like Cottonwood Pass, basically like between Salt Lake and Park City. We had to you couldn't get through because there was a wildfire. That's kind of frustrating. 1 for 2. All right, forecast off.
Yeah.
You and Cantori in a hurricane. Who wins? He's a big
Who
guy.
can do better TV?
Yeah, let's say who can do better TV.
I think he's proven with his success nationwide that he can do better TV than I can.
He's a stud.
And he sells it big time, right? Given the opportunity, I do think, though, that I have the broadcast chops to hang with anybody, so I would go toe-to-toe with him. But I'm often in the studio, like whenever the super fun stuff and exciting and dangerous stuff happens, they want me in the studio because I'm, forecasting versus, reporting, which is what he does. But, yeah, He's
built like a tank, but
he's not a young
man
shorter
anymore.
than me. He's shorter than me.
Same hair.
Yes. And people always say in my comments when they see videos or something I've done that they don't know me, like, hey, I thought this guy was Jim Cantori. And then I write back, oh, he gets all the time that people tell him he looks like Andrew Freiden.
Yeah. Genius. I mean, I feel like the hurricane is your natural habitat. That would be fine. You'd be fine in New Orleans.
I'm not going to put myself in harm's way. I have no desire to go chase tornadoes or do any of that stuff. I understand the thrill why people do it, but never been something that I've been excited to do. I'm fine to sort of be in a safe building and watching the data come in as opposed to experiencing it. No desire.
Do you ever do forecasts from outside? Because it feels like Sharps Island would be an amazing place.
It would be good. We would need your help, I think, with maybe a little bit of technology. But we don't.
We've got the Starlink. So we could have a satellite Wi-Fi going. It's amazing. So
that would be that. Let's put it on the list.
Put it on, dude. I mean, imagine
the
rooftop deck.
Yeah.
Little storm coming in. You watch it.
Yeah, it would be cool.
Coming down the river. Then we can shelter in the cabin. I mean, it's not the worst.
As long as the water
idea.
doesn't get too high.
Well, yeah. I mean, we'll have a John boat. Maybe we'll do more than just a canoe for you.
It is a great spot here that you've.
It's a good spot. How long have you been a meteorologist in Richmond?
I got here in 2000.
2000.
And I just got my 25th year anniversary on 12.
What did they give you?
It was in July, early July, and they gave me a catalog of things I could choose from. But I haven't chose anything yet. In fact, they sent me a reminder note, which is like, hey, what are you gonna get? So I don't know. It's down to 2 Adirondack chairs or like a sound bar. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Amazing.
But I've been here a long time. Feels like I've been here forever. To me, it feels like a very long time.
Too long?
I don't know about too long. I mean, everybody wakes up every day in the morning. They do something. You do something. You're like, is this the right thing for me?
Sure.
Like, it still feels like the right thing to be doing. But I think every year of my life, I've been like, is this the right thing? Am I going to do this till I die? What's the deal? So I don't know what's next. I don't know how long I'll be at 12.
Right.
I like it. They treat me great. I have a great gig.
You're an institution.
Well, I appreciate that. I mean, I guess. I mean, thanks for saying that. I appreciate it. But, hopefully I have, I don't know. I mean, I like it. Yeah. It's a good gig.
Good job. How old is your youngest kid?
My youngest is entering his sophomore year in high school.
Okay, so, maybe there's a natural, seeing what's out there in a couple of years.
Who knows? No idea.
Do you have a nemesis in the weather world? Maybe that's too strong a word, but let's go with it anyway. A local nemesis.
Do I have a nemesis? I don't think I have a nemesis.
In the weather world.
In the
Because
weather
I know there is
world-
one nemesis that we're going to get to.
Well, you bring up the nemesis then.
Well, the one I want to get to is your good friend at RVA Coffee Stand, because I love your back and forth. Is it Doug or Lesky?
That is my nemesis.
But
he's such a small figure that it didn't even register.
That didn't even
You know what I
occur to you.
mean?
Yeah.
It's like a fly or something.
Yes.
Or like a fingerling shad just drifting downstream.
Okay.
I was like, oh yeah. Now that you mentioned it.
my nemesis.
But Doug, I would like to say, so this is in the glory days of Twitter.
Right.
Twitter was, I think, just an amazing thing.
Everybody was there.
He is. I gravitated and found a bunch of really smart, really funny people.
Right.
And he was
How many
one
years
of
ago?
them. I don't know.
7,
I mean,
8,
you could
9.
have Doug has a calendar on his wall, days since I met Andrew,
Right.
and my life
Right.
changed. So you could ask him. Maybe 10 years or so ago,
Yeah.
but just a really smart, funny guy. I
Right.
love smart, funny people.
Right.
And he's one of them. And so we, for people who are listening aren't aware, Doug Orleski is a really good artist. He's in town.
Right.
His
RVA Coffee Stain.
That's
is
his
kind of
brand,
handle.
kind
Yeah.
of. Yeah, and his handle. So you can look him up. And then block him.
Yeah.
But he and I go at it in a totally fun way.
I mean, the best one. Well, I
Online.
mean, there's been a lot of great ones, but the Metro Zoo, the hippo.
Yeah.
Naming.
He thought the hippo should be named Hammy May, which is wrong. The public, of course, shot him down.
Right.
And the name was Poppy, which was we were just having
So fun.
dumb battles over stupid things. But people go to the internet often to argue anyway, so we're arguing in a fun, and maybe it's
Let's
our
at
way
least
as
have fun.
yeah, we can at least argue in
Right.
a good-natured way.
All right, so he's a fun nemesis, but there's got to be someone who really grinds your gears in the weather world.
Nowadays there's a lot of, I mean, they're basically these sort of online meteorologists
Right.
who are always questioning what we say, saying we have ulterior motives, saying we're not forecasting enough snow, saying we're not forecasting enough wind, just constantly
Nitpicking the weather aspect.
not only nitpicking, but and this has become a huge thing on Facebook lately, is the posting of dramatic snow forecasts and or hurricane forecasts that 99% of the time will not come to fruition, but it gets clicks and eyeballs. One of the big challenges we have is how do we combat all of this misinformation that's out there? Because Facebook, and to a lesser extent Instagram, but Facebook will, if you post something crazy, will put it in front of a lot of people and they'll all interact with it. And so then we spend some time sort of walking, 10 days from now, there's not going to be a Category 5 hurricane that hits Virginia.
Right.
No, there's not going to be the biggest snowstorm since 1940.
Right.
No, there's not, when we really should just be.
Who are these people?
There's all kinds of people out there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
it's
not bring ourselves
but that
down.
is the negative part. That is the worst part of my job, which is,
Dealing with weather trolls.
that's probably a good way to put it. But I think some of them are, good, have probably the right goal, which is, oh my gosh, there's this threat.
Right.
I want to tell people.
Right.
But they don't know that using what's called the operational model of the GFS, 8, 9, 10 days out, is almost entirely unlikely to occur.
Right.
But it prints out a crazy picture of a crazy thing, and they're like, well, I should let
That
people
is
know.
possible, theoretically. Right.
It is possible. It is also possible that a tornado could hit us right now.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
Right.
So that's a really hard thing for me to
Right.
sort of work through the disinformation that is spread. And, I get annoyed that, Zuckerberg is getting bigger and bigger yachts every time people post crazier and crazier weather posts.
Okay.
So that's annoying to me. That's probably the least fun part of what I do.
He does have a big yacht.
It's going to be twice as big because
Twice as big?
this winter there's going to be more posts about crazy snowstorms, and they get shared and he makes more money.
I like when you get to that level. I was reading this about Bezos's yacht. You can't have one helipad. You have to have two. Have you seen this? Because think about it. You fly in your helicopter and you land on your yacht. Well, how is your friend? All your friends have helicopters. How are they going to land?
Oh.
So you have to have a second helipad so that your friend and his boys. Isn't that amazing?
It's ridiculous.
Come on, that's good stuff. I don't know
it's
where
nice that you have room for 2 canoes to pull into Sharp Island.
we can get 2 canoes.
It's the same thing.
Look, I'm just saying, if Bezos and his wife wanted to do what do they call those ceremonies where you re-up your vows? We could probably put a helipad in here. What do you think? That you don't think this is big deal enough? Okay. All right. Well, look, I want to get weather nerdy a little bit.
Okay.
I was playing tennis with Zach Daniel the other day.
Yes,
because I like to, when it comes to Richmond weather, I like to play the field a little bit, like keep my options open.
Did you beat him or did he beat you?
It was doubles, and my team won. Let's just put it that way. Let's go.
You tell Zach I said no.
Super good guy.
And I always hear that so many times. And people are like, do you hate the other people? I'm like, no. Like, Zach has always been kind to me, and
now, I will
all
say,
the other guys in town.
Chief Meteorologist.
Yes, they use
Zach.
the title. They do use the title there. It's a different philosophy, and I'm not saying it was Zach's.
It's not right or wrong.
Yeah, that's just the way they do it. But yeah, Zach, I always hear about people saying, oh yeah, I played tennis with Zach. I played tennis.
Good guy, good player. Absolutely.
Yeah,
but he did lose that day.
That's good.
So he was telling me he has a master's in meteorology, did like 4 years at University of Oklahoma, and he was telling me it was like crazy physics, all this, I guess all the sort of basics of what is done, like the computers do now, the algorithm
There's very
now.
little, so like even the kids that are going through now, they go through meteorology school. And I, by the way, did not go undergrad to meteorology. My degree is in environmental science.
Right.
And I got the seal of approval from the American Meteorological Society a long time ago when you could get that seal without an undergrad degree or a master's degree in meteorology. They don't let you do that anymore. So I'm kind of like grandfathered in. But yeah, all of the high-end math stuff, like I had to take differential equations, horrible stuff, haven't really touched it since.
Yeah, so you did have to do some of that for environmental science.
Well, no, I didn't. I took differential after, like a post-grad class in order to get my seal. But, high-level calculus and
he described it as just atrocious for 3 years.
It is, and it actually is in my opinion, the academic world of meteorology should split. So what you have now, Mississippi State has kind of done this, where they're churning out a lot of forecasters and a lot of TV people.
Like people who are like yourself with the TV
but not
experience.
researching.
Got it.
So I think there should be like an operational meteorology track and a research meteorology track.
Right.
And you're forcing a lot of people, I think you're taking a lot of people that really are into science and into the weather and pushing them out of that degree track because of the high level math that's required. That really only comes into play when you're doing research.
Right.
I mean, you're really getting into the nitty gritty. But for
working for NOAA or something.
Yeah. Well, no, even like what meteorologists down at the National Weather Service in Wakefield aren't firing up their slide rules and doing high level math every day. They are forecasting. They're interacting with the data. They're looking at computer models and simulations.
Computers are doing the math, and then they're taking the data and interpreting it.
Correct. So I feel like it does a disservice to a lot of students who really struggle through that. Then they get out, and then they become someone who's like day to day. You're forecasting for a power company, you're forecasting for a state park, or you're on TV.
Right.
You're not like doing differential.
Right.
I mean, it's helpful to understand how everything goes together, but it's not a necessary tool for the day-to-day.
I remember Zach saying, he was like, yeah, when you were on that track, that like academic track, they tell you, hey, you're not going to be in front of the camera. And so, it was like you said, it was a separate world. So you just described, I was going to ask you your journey to sort of regional meteorological
my journey
greatness.
is a weird one.
It's weirder than...
It is weird. In fact, I didn't know. Most of the people that are in this business wanted to do this since they were like born.
Right.
And I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I was an outside kid. Like this would have appealed to me in a big way.
Yeah.
In fact, I tell a story like when it used to rain on our street in Northern Virginia, which was a sloped street and had gutters.
Where'd you live? Like
in Reston.
Arlington. Okay, Reston.
And it would rain. I would go outside and like sit or lay down like in the gutter and just let the water go down. And and people say, "What are you doing? That's ridiculous." But we got a train back there.
Isn't that amazing?
So so I was always outdoors and interested in everything. In fact, at the moment, I'm holding in my discomfort with the invasive species on Sharp Island, Sharps Island, because I look around and I'm always sort of looking at all that stuff. And again, I'm being facetious because it would be very hard to manage.
Like a backpack with some. What's it called? Roundup, and we'll get after it.
Who knows what you do? You need triclope here, but that's a different story. Anyway, so I went to UVA, and I was like, what am I going to study? I don't know. I wasn't like, I'm going to be a doctor, I'm going to be this. So I did environmental science, which was a 4-pronged approach at UVA, which is atmosphere and weather, which is the meteorology part, hydrology, geology, and ecology.
I was a geology major.
There you go.
So I did some of that stuff.
So
hydrology.
It wasn't until I got near the end that I was like, oh, I think this might work. After I graduated, I got a job down in Roanoke, making no money, rolling the teleprompter and helping write news scripts.
For a TV station.
For a TV station down there. They were like, oh, this is a smart kid.
You literally rolled the teleprompter.
Literally, like it was a dial. We still actually We do it. Not all stations still do it.
Chief teleprompter roller.
Yeah, I was called closed captioning producer. That was the name of the title.
Yeah.
Anyway, but so then the meteorologist there, I really sort of latched onto, and I was like trying to learn from him. His name's Robin Reed. He's like
Still there.
a legend. He's not there anymore, but he teaches at Tech now.
Oh, cool.
But he was eventually moved to their main news anchor in the evening, and he's just like,
He's a legend.
He's a legend, and he's a great guy. And so I just learned from him, and got a job doing the weekends. And I was reporting during the week. I was like chasing wildfires and murderers and all that stuff. So learned how to write news stories and how to do that.
Yeah.
And then got the job
This is
here.
early 2000s.
This was 90. I got on the air 97. So I was 3 years there before I came here.
Got it.
And then came here and I was like, oh, this is a great place. I want to stay. When I first got to Richmond, I went down to just explore the James River.
Yeah.
I was like, this is crazy. Pony pasture, the James River Park
Crazy.
system. And told a friend of mine's wife who grew up here, she's like, what'd you do? I was like, oh, I was just exploring down by the James River. She's like, what are you doing? That's not safe down there. And I'm like, what do you mean? That was the sort of legacy of how things have changed and where things have gone.
That was the year I
at the
moved
James River.
here, so I have a similar knowledge of how things have changed. 2000. Yeah.
But I felt safe in 2000. But I think it was the beginning of things being sort of safe and cleaned and managed.
Yeah, and Ralph White was doing his thing down there.
So Ralph White
You probably ran into him.
strictly admonished me, and I literally ran into him because I was doing a little light trespassing over by the
Not the heavy
the
stuff.
pump station.
Yeah.
By the old pump
house.
house. And I was like just exploring and trying to get down to the river. I come out of the woods and Ralph White's standing there. I knew who Ralph
In
White
his
was.
knickers. Yeah.
In his beard and his hat, and he says in his imposing voice, he's like, well, you're not allowed to be there, or whatever. Like
That
he
was
really,
pretty good, actually.
he gave me, and I was like,
Ralph White.
Ralph White just yelled at me.
Right. You already
This
knew
is
who
amazing.
it was.
Oh yeah.
What a legend.
And became more friendly with him afterwards. I don't know. I hope he doesn't hear this actually, or maybe he wouldn't care now. But I became friendly with him and learned a lot from him since.
Yeah.
I don't know if he remembers that he saw me in
he saw you.
that situation.
Right. That's
But
amazing.
Ralph White and the people of his generation, I mean, what a crazy thing that they've done. They've turned this into a jewel, for the city.
It's incredible. Take me behind the scenes. One of the things I always wonder, like behind the scenes in a sort of work day in the life, like before you go on air, are you reading reports? Like how do you decide there's a limited amount of words you're going to say that day and give to us?
So at
How do
3,
you decide?
I'm in the door at 3.
In the door at 3.
We're on the air at 4:30.
Okay.
But at about 4 o'clock, I start producing content, which is like the web forecast.
Have you always been the morning guy?
When I got here, I was not. I worked in the evenings.
Yeah.
Jim Duncan, legacy chief meteorologist here for years.
Legend.
I was like his little buddy, basically. But it wasn't very long. The morning job came open. I was like, I would like to do the morning. So I've been working a crazy schedule for almost 25 years, 24, 23 and a half years, something like that. I can't even remember. So it's basically a sprint. I get in at 3, and from 3 to 4, I am firing up all kinds of data and just trying to download it into my brain. And trying to figure out what the forecast is. Yeah. Now we're on a continuum, right? Megan was just on the air at 11 o'clock, or Ross or Khalil, somebody else was on the air that night. So I'm coming in just a few hours later. So there are some things, new model data that comes into the overnight that you compare and contrast to what we had just said.
Right.
How do I need to change things? And then I'm always trying to think of what are the important things that I need to talk to the viewers about in terms of like their comfort and their safety for the day ahead. So it's about an hour's worth of sprinting. Then we're on the air at 4:30, and it kind of doesn't stop. But during each break, our broadcast day is almost 24 hours a day.
But I mean, for you, when does it stop?
So for me, today it stopped at 8. I did the news on Fox. Fox, which is owned by Sinclair, pays our company, or there's some sort of agreement.
Okay.
Gray Television owns us to produce an hour on Fox Richmond, so people can see us then.
So you're the Fox and NBC guy.
Yep. Sometimes I'm on from 8 to 10. We do a newscast on CW. And sometimes I'm on the midday from 11 to 1 on 12. So it's like there's
Then you're doing your like the spots for the app and that kind of
so
stuff.
that I'll do that like before we go on the air at 4:30, and sometimes during commercial breaks when things change and I want to update. So it's like there's sort of a constant level of like production and always double checking. Like this morning there were some rain showers, and so I had today's rain chance at 30%, but then like marched that down as we got past the rain shower threat. So like it's like a continuum of
But those
updating.
are decisions you're making. It's not.
Yeah, there's nobody else there. Now, if somebody's there, often there is. So Rachel and I overlapped for a while this morning. We made some decisions. Like I remember yesterday, Khalil came in. I was like, Khalil, I got 40% chance for Sunday. I think that needs to come down.
Right.
Tell me what you think. He does the same thing I did, and he's like, yeah, let's drop it down a little.
But then you all have to agree, right? Like NBC 12, like the forecasters can't have different opinions.
Yeah, and in fact, in a prior life, very early in my career, you would often have people on the staff disagreeing.
Right.
Big snow forecast in the morning, small one at night. Big one in the morning, small
Right.
one for like 3, and people would notice. So one of the things, and part of that chief meteorologist thing that we talked about, where we don't have a chief meteorologist, removed the differences. And so the idea is that we're always trying to agree and come up with what we think is a consensus forecast.
Right.
In the same way that the most accurate forecast is a computer forecast that's run through multiple times with slightly different initial observations.
Okay.
The more brains you have on a forecast, the better it can be as well. Oh, I didn't think of that. I need to look at this.
What I was just reading, it was like a week ago, this new stickiness index. Did you see this headline? There's like
the wet bulb temperature?
Yes, the wet bulb temperature.
Or not the wet bulb temperature, but it's called the wet bulb something. But yeah, that's
there's
a
new researcher. I guess it's not that new. It's like a year old, but I feel like it would just like crash the news a week ago. But I like it, right? Because like this summer has been sticky as heck.
Well, so the dew point takes care of that. The dew point
I know,
takes
that's
care
what
of
I
that.
thought. But like, so what are they trying to do with this?
There's a different, I'm embarrassed, I think it's called the wet bulb.
It talked about
pause
wet
here
bulb.
and Google it, but there's different ways to measure temperature.
Right.
And it's using a sling psychrometer. So when you take a thermometer, if it was perfectly dry out,
Right.
like let's say 100% humid, it's raining,
Right.
and I take a thermometer and I soak it in water and start spinning it around and try to get that water to evaporate by moving it.
Interesting.
If it was raining or 100% humid,
Right.
nothing would happen, so it wouldn't cool down that thermometer.
Right.
But if it's, like you were talking about in Salt Lake City, now it's, let's say it's 80 degrees, but the humidity's super low. I soak that thermometer in a rag full of water and I sling it around. Now that water's evaporating
fast.
and the temperature drops.
Got it.
So that's the wet bulb temperature. So when you include that in, but the real thing is that, and I'm so embarrassed I can't remember the actual term for it. What they're doing is saying not just how humid is it and how hot is it,
Right.
but they put sun into it as well. So a day that is cloudy, hot, and humid is not as dangerous to your kids
Right.
playing soccer than a day that is sunny, hot, and humid.
Right.
And I've always had this theory that if I had a partner in the academic world, I would write a paper, which is a little bit unrelated, which is we talk about the wind chill index,
Yeah.
right? So you know if it's windy, it feels colder.
Right.
And I think there should be something called the sun warm index, which is kind of the opposite.
Right.
Meaning, okay, it's going to be 80 degrees, but it's going to be perfectly sunny
Right.
versus 80 degrees and cloudy. I could be out all day, well, let's not say 80, 90, all day in cloudy 90 degrees,
Yeah.
working and surviving, but then all of a sudden the sun hits you and it's a whole different thing.
Right.
So
and
that's
people
part
who
of
work
what that,
outside know this inherently.
yes,
right?
and that's what I think, what that temperature, what that index is, the new one that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Very helpful to
Because
planners.
I've always struggled with the like real feels and things like that, where it's like, it's like 115 in Phoenix, but there have been plenty of mornings, and like that sucks in a different way, I guess. You know what I mean? But like 98 and humid to me, like what we had for a while this summer,
Yeah,
is
early-
miserable in an entirely different
early
way.
July.
Right.
This 20, whenever people are listening to this, but early July 2025, first half of the month, it just poured rain. It was super warm and extremely tropical humid.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Very hard to sort of work through that.
You did a good explanation of like the upper level clouds and how they just weren't moving things through.
There was
fast.
we were like disconnected from any jet stream level.
So
wind.
stuff was just sitting on top of us.
Forms, sits, doesn't go anywhere.
Right. That was fascinating.
Can I ask you a question about
Yeah.
Sharps Island?
Yeah, go.
One of the issues with the river and the James and the area is that people don't understand it.
Okay.
They don't know what the jewel is here.
Right.
They aren't aware that if you were like literally 50 yards that way
Right.
and you got in a canoe without hitting any whitewater, you could go to England.
Right. Right.
People are not aware that the James River is tidal right there.
It's the Chesapeake Bay starts right there.
Right there.
Right.
So it's mind-blowing to me that where we are in sort
Yes.
of historical context.
Well, and that disconnect, right? Like
People have no
the
idea.
modern-
To me, so there was one year when there was a drought. I'm sure you've seen this.
Yeah.
There's a drought year, so that you have less fresh water flowing down.
Right.
It's brackish there.
Right.
When we came down here, my family came down
Yeah.
here, and we saw and caught blue crabs.
Yes.
Which I'm sure you've seen on a regular basis when it gets
We saw
dry.
them on this. So, and this year, you're right. You're not. It's right now in August.
But it's the
and
water.
it's like
too
the
much water now.
males come upstream. But you're exactly right. Like the more drought there is, the more blue crabs you see.
Yeah. So it's like literally could be brackish. You drive Interstate 95, look over the bridge. That's brackish.
Right.
It goes
Tidal.
up about a foot.
Couple of feet.
Yep.
I mean,
And
depending
so
on the moon.
but people have no
Yeah.
idea. So there's just like
Well, to your point, like where we are sitting right now.
You want to talk about weather right now, but I'm like, can we talk about this river?
Well, I love talking about the geology of this place. If you were to look at the satellite image, and I mean, feel free to go online and do this, these are the last rapids on the river, which means that right there is the Piedmont, and that right there is the coastal plain, right? Like literally, we are straddling
And that's why we're here.
And that's why Richmond's here. That's why Sharps Island is still here.
What is that dirty, sad town on the Schuylkill River?
Filthy place. Love it. God, I love that place.
I forget what it is.
It's on the Delaware, too.
Oh, it's on the
yeah, it's on both.
Oh.
But you're right. The falls is more on the Schuylkill.
Philadelphia? What
That's
is
right. My God. What a
This guy's from Philadelphia.
cradle of liberty, as I
there
call
you
it. I don't know if anyone cares about that.
But all these major cities, Baltimore,
Right.
all the
I mean, DC, yeah,
they're
look at Great
all on the
Falls.
fall line because you had energy to use for industry and also navigation issues, right? Your big
Right.
old boat's not going past this unless you build a canal, which is one over
Petersburg,
there.
same thing.
Yeah, Petersburg on the Appomattox. Yeah, it's
it,
fascinating stuff.
it is-
People don't know, so it's
No, we're divorced
trying to-
from that. But then when you get out here and spend some time, you realize, and you think about like the history of this island and this area in Richmond, there's so much more industry. And maybe 100 years ago, 200 years ago, that industry was like shad fishing. And there's all sorts of evidence of fishing operations and like oysters. And it's super cool. That's a separate episode. I'll bring you back to
Yeah,
narrate.
I'd love to come because there's so much.
To narrate that, kind of documentary.
Yeah,
That'd be fun.
it would be-
Great voice for
it would be
you.
an honor.
should
Thank
do
you.
narration.
Well, I have been told that I have a face for radio. Thank you.
Yeah, you and Ralph White could be like the new like David Attenborough.
Did you just call Ralph White ugly?
No, I mean, no. What I was trying
Okay.
to say was your voices would be perfect
Yeah.
for that kind of like nature documentary. What do you think about mine? Is that also?
I think
could you
that
put me
my
in that?
voice would be perfect for a nature documentary.
All right, look, we'll put a pin in that one. All right, let's have a little more fun. Not that we weren't. Which neighborhood in Richmond has the best chance of being destroyed by a tornado, and why is it Short Pump?
Which?
It's fine. People in Short Pump don't listen to podcasts.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Not in the Cheesecake Factory, they don't.
Boy, that is a good question, which I don't have a good answer. I think it's all equal, but that's funny.
That'd be a fun one. That'd be a good one. What's the most common question you get from the man on the street?
When do you sleep?
Okay.
What's my sleep schedule?
Is that
And
your
the answer is, so I wake up at 2:27.
Okay.
I'm in the building at 3.
It's like 10 a.m. now.
Yeah.
You're gonna leave here.
I'll leave here. I'll complain to my wife about how we didn't talk enough about the river and we talked too much about the weather.
Right.
She'll be like, dude, just go to bed.
Yeah,
It'll be
right,
fine.
you're tired,
So
right.
I go to sleep at some point. It could be 11, it could be 10, it could be 1 or 2. And I typically sleep for about 2 or 3 hours every afternoon.
Okay. A
And
nap.
I wake up.
Like a
Well,
deep
we
nap.
don't call it a nap. Because a nap, you can, wake dad up
Yeah,
from
this
his
is
nap.
sleep.
Thank you. You're not waking dad up in the middle of the night to do something.
Do you have like a
so-
special place? You must have like a super dark room.
I
'Cause that sleep is
don't.
crucial for you.
I don't, and I've been very fortunate that I'm a very good sleeper. Like, I swear I could lay down on the ground here and be asleep in about 15 minutes.
One of the great talents.
It's an amazing
It's a superpower.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to think about it that way.
Yeah. I mean, it's literally.
Yeah, so it's really, I'm very fortunate. I can go to sleep at night and wake up, and I don't have any trouble either way. So then I'm up until 10 or so at night, and then I wake up again 2:30. So it's like
That's the only sleep you get?
it's like 2 or so an hour, and then wake
Then you
up
go
at
back to
5
right.
or whenever, and then go to bed at 10 when my wife and kids are going to bed, and then wake up at 2:27.
Got it.
So it's like 2 or 3, 4.5 or so. Add it together as a night.
So you also don't need all that much sleep. That's impressive.
No, I mean I could use more. Sometimes it's a 3.
Days off, you're catching up.
Days off, I don't like if I don't.
Do you
if
keep the
I'm
same
busy,
schedule?
if I'm busy and there's some exciting stuff happening, I can just
Yeah, you're
plow right through the
emceeing
day.
some event. You can.
But stuff to happen, outdoors, things
Right.
are going on. But if it gets boring and nothing's happening, then I could take a nap.
I'll shut this down.
Yeah, but it's a lot of us who work these weird shifts have to figure it out. And we talk about your wife being an emergency room
Yeah.
physician. She's been through, I'm sure, schedules that have been off the wall. So
It's
I'm not
crazy.
complaining because many people are much worse than I have it.
I do think though that some people are simply more able to cope with that
Yeah,
schedule
I
than
think it's
others.
just I've been
fact.
fortunate to be able to.
You're trapped on Sharps Island. You can only bring 3 weather instruments. Which one are you bringing? Which 3 are you bringing?
Oh, you have to bring. Well, So
And a sandwich.
The
let's
most
say.
important one is a
Gotta bring
is that
three
high.
weather instruments and a sandwich.
Ooh, the most important weather instrument to comfort and weather is the hygrometer, which measures humidity. However, I don't need to bring it because I can just sense it. But if I was like indoors and had to remotely set something up, that's what I would set up.
Okay.
But since I'm here, I don't need it, but I would definitely want a barometer, which measures air pressure, and that can tell you the barometer's rising or falling, you know if storminess or bad weather's coming.
I'm going to stop you there. That's wrong again.
What's the
The
answer?
correct answer is an umbrella, a Yeti cooler, and Nikki D. Ray.
Are those weather instruments? I
Oops.
would say that I've been very successful in my plan to never talk about anybody else who works at the other stations, although I know Zach from playing tennis, so we'll talk about Zach.
Okay, you've played tennis with him too?
I don't know if I played with him or not, but I've been adjacent, tennis
See,
adjacent.
beat you or not?
I played
You're a
pickleball
pickleball guy. Where do you play?
anywhere and everywhere.
That Pouncy Tract is a big one, right?
I used to play Pounce Track all the time, but I found our neighborhood has a court.
Oh, nice.
I'm a member of the Performance Pickleball. Give them a shout out at the old Regency.
Oh, that's the one there. I've been to Bangers and Dinks.
I've been there too, but
that's
the one,
cool.
yeah, but Performance Pickleball
Is it pretty sweet?
it's pretty awesome. It's like for me, and I just
Who do you play with?
whoever.
Like your kids.
It's
They don't-
basically old people.
Yeah.
You know, or no, there's 20s all the way up.
Yeah.
But and I'm considering myself to be an old person. But I just got out of my first pickleball league, and I told my partner, I was like, I'm not doing this anymore.
Really?
Like, I didn't like the league part of it.
Oh.
I spent a large chunk of my athletic career being extremely competitive and trying desperately to
What
win.
was your sport? What was your favorite?
Basketball.
Basketball. Got it.
And
I saw you did a spot for NBC 12. You had a good handle.
Yeah,
dude.
I mean, I can play basketball.
Yeah.
But the pickleball, part of it, the pickleball to me that's so fun is just the joy of playing.
Right.
And whether I win, if you beat me 11-9, we had a great time. I'm like, awesome.
Great.
So there's a level of joy. There's a video that's going around. The Maroon 5 guitarist talked about the flow you get into. The pickleball point. It's so hard to win a pickleball point.
Yeah, it is.
They go so long that everything falls away and you're just playing and you're just in the moment.
That's cool.
And that is you're running. I'm sure people who run the rapids in a kayak are
Right.
so focused on this run that maybe 25, 30, 45 seconds that's it. Everything else falls away.
The pickleball flow state.
I'm telling you, I don't know
Right.
the guy's name, but he was the Maroon 5 guitarist, talked about this on
Yeah.
the podcast. I was like, yep, that's it. It's so fun. Anyway,
That's cool.
enough of pickleball.
All right,
Go
pickleball.
to your next.
All right,
Yeah,
what's your
anyway.
spirit cloud?
My spirit cloud? Literally, my favorite cloud is I mentioned it earlier. It's called the cumulus. Humulus.
And what does it do?
From the Latin root humble. So it is a cloud that is trying to build into a big towering cumulonimbus cloud, but it's a tiny, puffy little cloud. It's humble. It's not developed
Oh,
vertically.
That fits you.
Well, I try to be.
So wait, is the cumulonimbus, is that a thunderhead?
Yeah, it's,
Because that's,
nimbus is the prefix,
I
the
feel
suffix
like-
that's thunder and lightning.
it's like chaotic and loud. That's mine.
Yeah, that's a good.
Well, I guess I need a new one
No, that's
now.
you. You can be cumulative. Well, you're not powerful enough to be
Yeah,
cumulative.
you're right. I'm kind of like 5'10" and a half. That's not very cumulative.
You're more like a stratus cloud. You're just like a blanket
Just
that makes
kinda
everybody feel good.
that doesn't. I don't
Okay,
know.
hold on.
Maybe not good. What's another?
You could be a cirrus cloud,
Okay.
way up there. You're just out there.
Just out there, kind
You're
of.
so far away. You have little.
I don't really do any drugs though. That feels like a guy.
Cirrus clouds, the highest clouds, the ice crystal clouds, very high up in the sky.
Okay, yeah.
I
We'll-
think
we'll
you may
keep
have
workshopping
cumulus
this.
congestus, maybe, because you got the voice.
Yeah. Yes. So still not gonna do any documentaries. I don't know. All right.
You have a unique voice. People love it.
I appreciate that. I never got away with anything in middle school because the teachers are like, dude, come on.
Me, but for a different reason, because my voice carries so far.
Yeah. It was a nightmare. Do you know any good dad jokes?
I know a lot. Actually, I listened to Ed
How many kids do you have?
Trask's.
7 or 8?
I have two.
Two.
And I have a lot of jokes. And the one joke that I wanted to tell was told by a previous guest. It's the pirate joke.
Michael Phillips with the
Michael
Richmond.
Phillips told it, and I would like to. I would like to take issue with the way he told the joke.
Hey, can you tell?
Michael, I'm coming for you.
All right, I need
Well,
you
first
to
of
tell.
all, let me tell the easy one. Where did Napoleon keep his armies? In his sleeveys. Okay, that one works for little kids. You can say Washington instead of Napoleon. So, but the joke that
In his sleeveys.
the joke he told, the pirate joke, he told it deadpan. Here's the joke. Now you have to pretend you haven't heard the joke.
Yeah,
and
no.
you have to say "R" when I ask you what a
Okay,
pirate.
got
is.
it.
So what is a pirate's favorite letter?
It's got to be R.
You'd think it'd be R, but a pirate's true love is the sea. So that's how you have to tell the joke. So you tell Michael, yeah.
I kind of like it both ways. Yours is better. Yours was better. I mean,
But he's right that is the best dad.
it's a great dad joke.
Because people just, boom, they hit, they're like, oh, it's R. And you're like, ah.
Yeah, I like a dad joke that takes a little build up. You know what I mean? Like
Well,
that's.
that's
Did you hear Matt Perry's? Matt Perry was the first,
What
the
was
owner of
his? I
Riverside
did hear it,
Outfitters.
but I forget.
There's a bear and a rabbit in the woods, and I might mess this up. There's a bear and a rabbit. Did you hear this one?
Stick. Yeah.
Yeah, that does it stick?
That's a good one. But I think Michael's joke and that joke are not actually dad jokes. They're good jokes.
They're just good jokes.
They're good jokes. Mine is the Napoleon. That's a
Yeah,
dumb dad joke.
Dad jokes need to make you cringe.
People are saying, anytime you say joke, oh, it's a dad joke. I'm like, no, that was a really
That's just a
well-crafted joke. And just because I'm a dad doesn't mean you can call it a
Right.
dad joke.
If you cringe, but you're sort of like, give him a little bit of credit at the same time, like that's a good dad joke.
Or he's saying that just because he has to, because he's a dad. It's not like anybody's
No,
entertained by it.
I just tell smoking hot jokes.
I don't want to say this, but
But
counts.
it's pretty awesome, right? Yeah. Have you who are you like a fanboy of? Like, you ever ask anyone for an autograph?
I don't think in my entire life I've asked anybody for an autograph.
Have you been to the new like Allianz Amphitheater? Is there any like band where you're
So,
like,
and
man,
I'm
I
not
gotta
a
go
huge
see them?
and I wish I was more live music oriented, which I'm not going to. I don't go to a whole lot of concerts,
Right.
but I've never asked anybody for an autograph. And I think I've had brushes with people,
Right.
But
Yeah,
I've
sure.
never. I think I just haven't wanted to bother them or slow them down.
Right.
And I'm like, what am I gonna do with this autograph anyway? So
Have you met the one that comes to mind for you has got to be Tony Bennett. Would you
that is a
fanboy
good
out
one.
on him? Former UVA basketball coach.
Yeah, so I am a huge UVA basketball fan. I would thank him. I'd give him a big handshake and say thank you for
Maybe like
us
a
a
bro
national
hug?
championship.
Maybe bring it in.
I don't know if he would want to do
Bring it in,
that
but
or
what
not.
if he did?
But yeah, he was really. He really turned UVA basketball into something that was just amazing and so fun to watch over the
So
years.
that's a good
But
one.
I actually, I wouldn't ask him for his autograph.
Yeah.
Or a picture.
Well, you might fanboy out a little bit.
Yeah.
little bit.
I think if I met Jay Huff, former UVA basketball player, who's one of my favorites, I would fanboy
Big,
out.
tall, white guy.
Yeah. I actually, okay, here's the closest thing I
He's
got
like
to an autograph.
7'4".
He's 7'1", he's still in the league.
Yeah.
And he's
Is he
doing
really?
great. Yeah, I think he should be he should have gotten more time than he got when he was at UVA. Like, I identified
Right.
and he's doing great
He was
now.
jacked. I mean, he was a.
He could really, very athletic. Anyway,
Talented.
if my friends hear this, they'll be like, would you shut up about Jay Huff? Anyway, so, yeah, really a big fan of his. But, like, if I met Adam Sandler, who I was, like, grew up comedically with, and I'm a fan of comedy, I'd be like, oh, that's a really cool dude.
There
I'd
was,
be impressed.
We used to be. I used to be a VCU basketball season ticket holder, right, and then COVID messed things up. But I remember a story where he was in town shooting something, and he like rented out the Siegel Center and was playing because he's a big basketball guy.
I did, now that you mention it, I took a picture once with Mamadi Diakite,
Oh, right.
who was a former UVA basketball
And a
player.
legend,
But I
because
did
of
that
what
at the
he did.
ACC tournament in D.C. when he was a red shirt.
Okay.
And
Little did you know.
I did know. I told my wife, I was like, this is Mamadi Diakite. Let's
He
get a
throw the
picture with
pass
him.
or catch the
He
pass?
threw the pass to Kihei to get them past Purdue on the year in 2019. But I was like, we need to get a picture. So, yeah, so I take it back. I did fanboy. And also, he was just, he was a red shirt, and I knew nobody was paying attention to him.
Right.
Because nobody knew who he was. I was like, we can stop him, and he might even
He might
enjoy
be.
it.
Right.
So he enjoyed the interaction, and I
See-
think he was happy. But I wouldn't want to stop or bother anyone
Right.
who's got a lot of attention.
And when you're a big enough deal yourself, it feels weird to, you know what I mean? You've reached a level.
Well, okay, if you say so. If you say so. The mayor of Sharps Island.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's. I mean, honestly, we make a lot of secession jokes. Yeah, you ever?
No pictures.
Yeah.
Andy is busy.
That's Hobo Island. You're over there. Yeah. We make a lot of Key West secession jokes here. You ever go to Key West and they have the flag? Yeah. So it's really more like the audit. I'm like the tyrant of Sharps Island. I like more than just the mayor. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So when Mr. Avula hears about that, we'll just slap on a little a fee to launch from city property, and then we'll
Right.
see how long your independent nation lasts.
It was like Charlton Heston used to say, from my cold dead hands, Andrew.
Pry this island from your cold dead hands.
I'm always, trying to find the next Andrew Freiden in terms of guests on this podcast. Do you think you could help me get Tony Bennett out here? Wouldn't that be amazing?
There's no way he would.
There's no chance, right?
And he doesn't know
He doesn't care.
who I am.
He's
or
probably
care.
no. Well, let's focus on me right now. In this podcast, okay? I need your help getting Tony Bennett out here. How do we do this?
I don't know what
Does he
Tony's
ever come
doing
through
now.
Does he? What is right? Like, what is he
I
doing?
don't know what he's doing.
He's
so
a young
for
man
people who
still.
aren't paying attention, if people don't know, not everybody knows, he was a basketball coach at UVA for 10 or 11 years, 12 years maybe.
At least.
Brought UVA national championships and retired a couple years ago.
It might have been this time last year.
Oh
think it
yeah,
was.
right before
One
the
year
season.
ago.
Yeah, so I don't know what he's doing now. I hope he's happy and fulfilled, but I don't think he's a podcast guest.
You don't think he's a guest? Even more reason to really get after it. He
Really give him the bit. Maybe you can give him one of those sweet T-shirts that you gave me.
Yes.
And then maybe he would do it.
All right. This is it. You ready? Last question.
Yeah.
You spent your whole life predicting the future of weather. Can you predict the future of this interview?
Millions of views and downloads. That's where I would probably go with this.
Wrong again. It
No?
ends right now.
Dang it, he snuck one in on me.